Gentlemen, thanks very much for being here. This is the 2021 Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce's Candidate Forum. We are going to first allow you to introduce yourselves. You'll have 3 minutes. We will ask you 5 questions, which you will have a minute to respond to each, and then give you an opportunity to close with 1 minute why people should vote for you. Mr. Durio, let's start with you. Please introduce yourself. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Charles Christopher Durio. I go by the name of Chris Durio. I'm a retired firefighter here in Beaumont. I was a firefighter for 31 years. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I'm married to my wife, Gwendolyn. We've been married for 29 years. Graduate of Hebert High School. I attended Lamar University, and I attended our Mother of Mercy Church. I've been a member of numerous organizations here in Beaumont. I was on the school board at our Mother of Mercy Church, president of Spindletop Little League, vice president of Terrell Park Neighborhood Association. And I'm running because I've spent my whole life preparing for this job. And I think I still have something left to offer the citizens of Ward 4. I think our ward has been neglected somewhat, and I think I could do something for the citizens of Ward 4. I have more to give. That's it.
Sir?
My name is Brandon Johnson. I've been here in Beaumont for going on 36 years. I was born and raised here. My dad is originally from Louisiana, but my mother, Bertha Sam Johnson, who was a Hebert of 1974 alumni. My father came here and met her. They married, they stayed, they had me, my 2 siblings, an older brother, twin sister. And I'm here still in Beaumont, local business owner. I own Realty Depot, Texas, which is a full-fledged real estate brokerage, and Lucille Homes and Remodeling. We remodel houses. I also have a nonprofit organization, the Brandon Johnson Believe and Achieve Foundation, where we mentor youth. We're preparing for scholarship programs right now to give to minority families, predominantly single family homes and things like that. And I have a daughter. Her name is Cassie Johnson. She's going on 2, so she's been here for almost 2 years as well. I'm running for City Council Ward 4 because it's time for change. And the city needs a councilman that they can believe in, someone that they can hold accountable, someone who's available and accessible to them at all times, through the goods and the bads. This is, with me being a business owner, it allows me the flexibility to create my own schedule and be there as much as possible as my constituents need me. I've been a member of various organizations, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, SGA, Student Government Association, when I attended Lamar University, where I received my bachelor's degree. I've worked with Gail Coletti and Regina Rogers with the Gift of Life. So the list, the resume, it goes on and on and on. And now I'm looking to take my career in service to new grounds as a councilman.
Okay. So we'll start with the questions, and we'll start with you, Mr. Johnson. Why do you want to be a city councilman, or why are you running for this position?
I'm running for this position to give back to the constituents. Neighborhoods are the heart and soul of our city. And right now, everybody agree that downtown needs revitalization. But of course, when the people go home to their neighborhoods, they should feel a sense of pride. They need to feel safe, and they need to know that their neighbors, as well as their neighborhoods, care for them and that the government is working for them. I'm running for city council to create a long-term plan for neighborhoods, a plan that promotes sustainable economic development, strong parks, and a sense of identity. I'm running for city council to work on core infrastructure needs, and I'll fight daily to take care of our streets, sidewalks, and access to safe cars and travels, wheelchairs, strollers, and scooter connect us all to each other. I'm sorry.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Durio, same question. Why do you want to be a city councilman?
Well,
why are you running?
As I said in my opening statement, I spend my life doing community service. I feel I have a lot more to offer. I'm from Ward 4. I grew up there. My whole career as a firefighter, I worked at the fire station on Washington Boulevard, right there in the middle of Ward 4. I want to improve Ward 4. I want to stand up for the folks in Ward 4. Part of the job of a city councilman is to be the intermediary between the citizens at City Hall. And I'm one of those people. I've been there so long. I've been so involved in the community. I feel that I can do a good job at that. And that's one of the reasons that I'm running. I just feel that I have a lot of offer to a community that has been so good to me. And recently, like I said, I just went through a bout with cancer. And I said, when I came through that I needed to do something to give back. It just was on my heart to do. And this opportunity presented itself. So I feel like it's time for me to give back to a community that's been very good to me.
Very good. Thank you, sir. We're going to stick with you. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for this role?
Okay. Well, I said my time at the fire department taught me a lot about leadership and a lot about accountability. My community involvement is just that. I'm involved with the community. People know me. I'm accessible. People, I've been walking the block, and when I knock on the door and say, "Hey, and before I could say my name, I say, "I know who you are. You're Chris Durio. I know your dad, and I know all these folks." And then they start telling me what they want. And that's part of the things that I want to do is once I'm elected, not stop knocking on doors. I want to continue to get out and meet the people and communicate with the people, find out what they need from me, what they think that Ward 4 needs, and I want them to be a part of the success of Ward 4.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Johnson, same question. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for the office?
Well, as a business owner, I understand how the city is nothing more than a business. You have budgets, you have people you have to work with, different personalities, different things of that nature. But being in real estate, I've learned how investors and big businesses pick the areas that they opt to invest in and develop in. I understand that retail follows real estate, which also sets me apart from my opponents as the best candidate for Ward 4. My involvement in the community allows me to meet people and hear their concerns constantly. My involvement in the community has given me the opportunity to influence people positively and put smiles on their faces, whether it was an Easter egg hunt or a back to school drive that my nonprofit has hosted, whether it was feeding families or helping other candidates through their campaign. My family is here. My family is very involved in the community. My mother, Bertha Sam, block walking, and I oh, you're Sam. Yeah, Bertha Sam is your mama. We went to school together. So my involvement heavily helps me with my involvement in the community.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, we're going to stick with you. What do you see as the single most pressing need for your ward, and how would you propose to address that?
Infrastructure. We've had several storms here over the last few years, from severe flooding, Tropical Storm Imelda, Hurricane Harvey, the freeze the week of Valentine's. I would try to work closely with Drainage District 6, educate myself on any new grants for infrastructure. And the current presidential administration is also attempting to pass a new infrastructure bill. So I'll definitely work with the state and national elected officials, as well as the lobbyists in Washington, to be able to take full advantage of this bill.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Durios, same question. What do you see as the single most pressing need for your ward, and how would you propose to address that?
I agree with my opponent. Infrastructure, and that being because Ward 4 is one of the older city areas in the city as far as infrastructure goes. And so right now, when they divide up the infrastructure dollars and they divide them up equally, Ward 4 is so low, on the priority list, that it can't be. We're going to need a little more than the other wards because we're so old. So one thing I want to do is move our projects list further up the priority sheet. That's one of the things that I would like to do. Also, make the ward more attractive to businesses, home ownership, things like that. We want our young people that are doing great things all over America do great things here in Beaumont. I like them to come back to Ward 4 if they were raised there or any part of Beaumont, build a home there, be able to start businesses there, raise a family in Ward 4. And that all starts with your infrastructure. You got to make the ward attractive to people to come back to invest money in.
Thank you, sir. We'll stay with you on the next question. Can you discuss the importance of harmony amongst the council, and how would you work to accomplish that?
Well, my experience, part of the 31 years when I was at the fire department, at least almost 20 years, I was on the executive board of the union. So I know about negotiations and compromise. If the board has to be able to get together, they have to be able to talk about the council. They have to be able to work together, solve their problems, have harmony in order to work for the problems of the city of Beaumont. I don't have a problem getting along with anyone. I've been stuck in fire station. We work 24-hour shifts, stuck in there 24 hours with somebody that I really didn't care for, but we got the job done because that's what was most important. It's not about personalities. It's about getting the job done. And I feel I'm that type of person that could be a go-between. I can get along with anybody. I've done it in the past. Just have to focus on what's important. And that's the citizens of Beaumont. It starts and finishes with the citizens of Beaumont.
Very good. Mr. Johnson, same question. Discuss the importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
Well, before I start, I want to thank my opponent for agreeing with me on the previous question. The importance of harmony on the council, it's huge. Right now, the citizens of Beaumont don't believe in the council. When you see members of the council fighting and arguing consistently, how do you believe? There's a saying, united we stand, divided we fall. Right now, the council is divided and Beaumont is continuously falling behind. I own a business. I have to negotiate with other owners all the time. As a real estate agent, you negotiate between agents and things like that to get the best deal for your client. I bring those same talents to the council, whether it's give and take, negotiating deals to bring the best to Ward 4.
Thank you. We're going to stay with you. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium-sized businesses and enabling economic development?
Well, outside of zoning and planning, the city council has the ability to create what's called enterprise zones. And these areas are designated to bring businesses and development in. And we can increase those opportunities, for example, here in Ward 4 by offering tax breaks, expedited permitting, new home and business development, while partnering with Lamar University, which is one of the prominent jewels in Ward 4, as well as the Chamber of Commerce that's responsible for bringing businesses to our area.
Good, thank you. Mr. Durio, same question to you. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium-sized businesses and enabling economic development?
Well, just like I said about Ward 4, local government has to make the city more attractive to bringing in businesses, first-time homeowners, and things of that nature. We have to make it, and we have to work along with the school district to do that, because that's one of the number one things that people look at when they're talking about opening a business in the area or moving to an area or starting a family. They look at the schools, and that was another thing when I was saying about keeping our people here that's all over the country doing great things. They have to want to come back here, they have an opportunity. And like I said, with your zoning and permitting, like he said, you have to make it business friendly. We can't very well ask people to come here, open a business or invest money and then make them jump through hoops to do it. Not to say it's supposed to be any shortcuts, but you shouldn't have to talk to 5 different people to get the same thing done as far as permitting and things like that go.
Very good, thank you. So that concludes the question and answer period. So now we're going to give you both a chance to tell everybody, why should somebody vote for you? Mr. Durio, we're going to start with you.
Well, I think they should vote for me just because of my experience as far as dealing with city council. With my time and being on the executive board of the union, we've negotiated contracts. I've represented the people. I was always a shift steward, so I've represented the guys on shift. So I know how to represent people. I know how to get along. I know how to negotiate. I know how to compromise, but I'm not afraid of confrontation if that's what's necessary. Hopefully it's not, but if it has to be like that, then that's how it has to be. And that's one of the things with my experience in negotiation, compromise, and the inner workings of the city council. And also, I just like to say, get some mind. I've been endorsed by the Beaumont Firefighters Association, Beaumont Police Officers Association, Texas State Association of Firefighters, the Sabine Area Central Labor Council, and the Texas Real Estate Association Political Action Committee. I have a lot of backing. I have a lot of people supporting me. And it's this is my first run in politics, and it's really Thank you. It's really been an experience, and I can do a good job.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, same question. Why should someone vote for you?
Well, I think it's obvious. My opponent has agreed with me yet again, so hopefully you guys will agree with me as well. You should vote for me because I bring back to the council what we need: transparency, availability, accessibility, and accountability. Those core values is what we need up there on council. People shouldn't have to wonder what's going on in the city. People shouldn't have to wonder how much money the city budget is. People shouldn't have to wonder why it's taking Washington Boulevard so long to finish completion. I bring that to the council. And like my opponent said, he's endorsed by the labor union, the police department, the fire department. Most of them don't even live here in Beaumont. I'm here for the constituents. I'm not here for the fire department. I'm not here for the police department. I'm not here for the labor union. I'm here for the citizens of Ward 4 who needs their voice back.
Very good. Thank you. So we very much appreciate you coming in here and talking to us and giving us some opportunities to share what your thoughts are to our members. So that is great. We wish you both great luck in the beginning of May. And thank you very much again for being here this afternoon.